Finance and Intergovernmental Relations Subcommittee to order. Our members present are myself, Eileen Burnell, my Vice Chair and District Councilor Estela Reyes, Council President and Voting Member Modesto Maldonado, and Council Vice President and Voting Member Nilka Alvarez Rodriguez. Can I please get a motion to accept the minutes from our meeting on November 20th?
Second.
Motion's been made and second to accept the minutes from the 20th. All in favor? Aye. Special guest star of our meeting this evening is going to be Officer Jose Flores of the Lawrence Police Department. We have two private livery licenses that he's going to present to us. Officer, it's up to you. Which one do you want to take first? Which one do you have on top? Okay. Okay, the one I have right in front of me is Mr. Cipriano Vargas, 29 Monmouth Street. So can I get a motion, please, to take document number 378-14 off the table and out of order?
So move.
Motion's made, seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document number 378-14 is a livery service. It's Integrity Medical Transport. They're at 599 Canal Street. The applicant is a Mr. Cipriano Vargas. This is put on the agenda by Officer Jose Flores of the Hackney Division, and they're here. So I'm going to give you, there's some paperwork about this in your packets, but it's not fully complete, so I'm going to give you each one of these packets that Officer Flores was good enough to give to us. And Maria, I'm going to give you a copy, and can you please make sure this gets to Lillian? That would be... Officer, do you have anything you want to tell us about the applicant, or you?
It must be your mic or something. It's really...
Really echoey in here, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a little awkward.
What was the question?
Just anything about the applicant you want to tell us, just,
Well, just briefly, Mr. Vargas has filed his application. He has wants to work as a private contractor, livery service, as Integrity Medical Transport out of 599 Canal Street,
wow,
city.
okay.
He's met all the requirements for the Hackney Division. So he is here if you have any questions for him.
Great. I know that Officer Flores does have paperwork relating to the police reviews and the query checks, and we don't have that in our packets because it's private, but I did see the general copy. And I guess my only question is, with regard to the company, is how many vehicles do they have?
I believe it's two that start off right now.
So 2 vehicles right now? So, like the licenses where they get the medallions, they don't have a medallion?
It's not medallion, it's a livery service.
Right, right.
So
we
it's
don't-
going to be livery plate.
Yep. So, so it's a livery plate, not a medallion. And when he says medical, what does that, is it vans or something?
It's, I believe it has vans? Yeah. It's to
Do you want to
transport.
step up, sir, and just maybe state your name and your address into the microphone for the record, please?
My name is Cipriano Vargas.
Come to the microphone, please.
My business is located in 599 Canal Street, Lawrence, Mass.
Great. Thanks for being here tonight. So you said right now you have 2 vehicles,
2 vans.
2 vans? And you work on contract work, or how do you get your clients?
I'm going to be a subcontract for another company.
Okay.
Just for medical appointments.
So subcontractor for medical appointments.
Yes.
And the biggest thing I've run into in my district is, do you live, you said you're at 29 Monmouth Street. Are you going to take these vans home to your neighborhood, or do you leave them at 599 Canal Street? Like, at the end of the day, where do these vans stay?
Because right now it's only 2. I'm going to have a home because I have on the in-house garage.
Okay?
Yes.
And what are you going to do when it gets to be more?
Planning to live on the parking lot of 599.
Okay, I guess that's my concern, is that this is a business, and you're giving us a business address, you're giving us 599 Canal Street. There are some home businesses that are allowed, like if you're an accountant, and you have one bookkeeping client at a time come to you, you can do that out of your house, it's allowed under the city ordinances, but you can't run a business out of your house in a residential district like Monmouth Street. So I just want to make it very clear to you from the get-go, it's not okay to store vans at your house. If you have a private garage and they're off the street, and that's where you're gonna put them at night, in your private garage, that's fine. It's not a problem. But it's when you start parking them on the street, let's say you get up to 6 vans, and you're parking them on the street, that street is designed for residential parking only. It's not designed for commercial parking. So it becomes a problem when you're running a livery service out of the house. So it doesn't sound like you're doing that. You have a commercial business address that you're giving us. I know there's a parking lot at 599 Canal, so that's good. But I just don't want, a year from now, I'm asking Officer Flores to ticket your vans, and you're saying no one ever told you that you can't park the vans in front of the house. I'm telling you now. That's the requirement. So if you want to put them in your garage off the street, that's not a problem. But the problem becomes when you have more than what your garage can hold, and you're parking all these vans on the street, and then it's the winter time, and your neighbors have nowhere to park, and it's alternate street parking, and it becomes an issue, that's not appropriate use for the house. So as long as you're aware of that.
Okay.
Great, okay. Anyone have any other questions for the applicant?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay.
Who's Junil Cabalgas?
My wife,
Your wife? Is the company on both names or just your
only in my
wife's?
name.
I'm sorry?
It's only on my name, but she's going to be working with me.
Then how come the state issues a certificate in her name?
I'll answer that for you.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the letter of good standing?
Yes.
Yes, I went through that. I went on the online, and he was also on there,
Oh, okay.
and she can be on
So
there.
both are on it?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Good.
Perfect. Thank you I appreciate you looking at that. Anyone else, any other questions for the applicant? What is your pleasure? You want to send us up with a favorable recommendation?
Yeah, so,
So I guess we have a motion to send it up to the full council with a favorable recommendation, and it's been seconded. All those in favor? Aye. No, that's okay. So, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that, on December 16th, can you please come back, or someone from if your wife or whoever, but someone needs to be here. Well, it's going to take the final vote of the full city council on Tuesday night, December 16th, and one of you should be here just in case someone else had a question. But your paperwork seems to be in order. You seem to have a good business, and I wish you the best.
Okay, thank you.
Very nice to meet you, sir. Great. Can I please get a motion to take document number 398-14 out of order?
so move.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. 398-14 is a private livery license. It's high-class transportation. They're at 296 Broadway. It's a Henry J. Ponciano? Ponciano. And again, this item was also put on the agenda by Officer Flores of the Hackney Division. This is the package on document 398-14. Can you pass that to Maria too, please? Similarly, we do have the application for the taxi license in our applications. We've got the, actually, you know what? I didn't ask that gentleman about his property taxes. We can check that. Officer, the last applicant that was here, the gentleman from Monmouth Street, he should have had this paper in his package, and it wasn't. We can either get it
I
from him.
believe,
We can get it between now and the 16th. you know.
I'll have that for you
Okay,
tomorrow.
and that's fine. As long as we have, I'll just make a note that we
Was
need the
it-
tax form by the 16th.
It was probably in the original package sent to
And it
the
may
city
be in
clerk.
Yeah, it may be in here that I'll double check my own package. I could have a copy, but it's not in the paperwork that we just went over, yeah. But he does his property taxes, water bills, and everything are in order. He's got the sign off from the state. Everything does seem to be in order. Is that applicant, can we, I want to just ask him, like, how many vehicles he's going to have in the
I
same?
believe it's 10 vehicles?
Okay,
10,
10 vehicles. Okay. And again, this is the same livery plate, not medallions?
yes. This one's a little different.
Okay,
The, Mr. Vargas,
yeah,
this one is a livery service, which is, it's going to be a It's a prepaid service where
Okay.
they're allowed to take the calls. The only thing they can't do is take cash. It has to be either credit card or check.
Oh, interesting, okay. So again, they're not doing medallions, they do delivery plates?
Yes, livery plates.
Okay. And the last applicant, would that similarly be the same kind of system with no cash, just, well, he's mostly on contracts anyway, but,
Yes, it would be not on contract, it would be more of a pre-service,
yep,
which is, they would have to have either a way to collect credit card
yep,
or a check. They're not allowed to get waived down.
okay.
And this is mainly, just like, I don't know if you remember Diamond Livery Service. They're no longer here in the city.
Okay.
They moved to Tewksbury. It'd be mainly the same service as they provided in the city.
Okay. I know I see, and we kind of go back and forth on this one, that Belmore is a livery, not a taxi.
Also, yes,
Yeah.
they also have a prepaid service.
So you shouldn't be able to give him cash either?
Correct, they don't, I can't tell you if they accept cash because I don't know what their ordinance is.
Yeah,
The city of Lawrence is, the ordinance states it's either be a credit card or check.
good, okay, no, I like that. So you have 10 vehicles, can you just let us know where those are stored, the 10 vehicles?
296 Broadway Street, they have a private garage in the back where all the vehicles will be stored.
So you store them 296 Broadway, and there's a parking lot, that means there's sufficient parking for all 10 vehicles?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And do you mind, are they all vans, are they a little bit of everything? What types of vehicles?
They're all Honda Accords models, well, year make 2007 and up, so nothing lower than 2007.
They're all Honda Accords?
Yeah,
That's interesting. Okay.
majority of them, yeah.
I would not think of that. I think of either something really big like a van or a limo, but,
Yeah, so it's designed kind of like luxury, so.
gotcha. Anyone have any questions for the applicant? Please.
When you say that it's gonna be like a prepaid service, how that's gonna work? I know that you're not gonna be taking cash, but how that's gonna work? Like, if someone want to, get your service, I'm not quite clear about.
So it's a livery service, so it's only going to be one passenger at a time. You can't pick up passengers on the street, so you would call ahead, and either you would pay with a debit card through the phone, or when we pick you up, you'd pay with a check.
But that is gonna be a service that is gonna be circulated in the city? It's like that I need your service, I just call you, I live in Lawrence, North Lawrence, and I wanna go to South Lawrence. Is that something that I can call you?
Yeah, but you would be the only one in the vehicle, so it wouldn't be two passengers at a time. Kind of like, I don't know if you've ever been to New York, but it's only one passenger at a time. So it's not like how Yellow Cab was, there's three passengers in the seat, and
When you say one passenger at a time, do you mean literally one passenger at a time? Or do you mean like, I made a phone call, so me and my party are your one passenger?
yeah, so if I pick you up, whoever you're with, you're getting dropped off before I pick up anybody else.
Nobody else is getting in the cab or the vehicle delivery with us?
Yeah, exactly.
I understand, okay. I guess my only other question with, are your rates competitive with the cabs? Are you much more, like, are you more expensive? Like, what's the?
No, it's just a different style, just to see if we can draw more customers. No competition, just.
Because I know our rate for the cabs is regulated, and I just, we've had issues with, like, the guy from Andover comes in and tries to undercut everybody. As long as your rate is either a little more expensive or competitive with everybody else, if you're undercutting where we already have all our cabs required to pay the same fee, I just don't want.
No, it'll be the same price. It's just a different style, more modern vehicles, the chauffeurs will be dressed up nicer, so.
Yeah, but you're gonna be picking up a passenger here and drop it here. It's like a cab service, right?
Yeah, but it's only one passenger at a time.
That is the only difference, but
Give you more information. What he's trying to say is, let's say you call ahead of time, you need to be picked up here, this is where you're gonna go. It's already a pre-paid service, so that's the only passenger in the vehicle. Not only here in the city, it could be anywhere, going out of the city. The only thing they can't do is multiple passengers. As is the other, Mr. Vargas, which his livery service is medical.
Right.
So he'll probably have more than one passenger.
Right.
Going to different medical facilities. And they're just, and I believe on the rate, I'm not sure if he's really understands the rate. If, might be a little more than the cab service,
Yeah,
because it's.
which is
you want-
fine.
It's like an express service.
In my mind, he can charge as much more as he wants. I
Yes.
don't have a
Yeah,
problem with that
there is
at
no
all.
stipulation on their rate.
Yeah, but as long as he doesn't undercharge them.
Correct.
Yeah. If he wants, whatever profit he wants to make, that's his business and how he markets that.
Again, and it's a
Yeah.
prearranged service. So you just can't pick up the phone and call, hey, can you pick me up here?
Yeah,
It's a prearranged service.
gotcha.
it's basically who's gonna be controlling the calls, like if I'm driving one of your
I
vehicles.
believe that'd be at the office with them.
Secretary, and it's gonna be monitored by walkie-talkies, so we're gonna purchase walkie-talkies, and it'll be in that arrangement.
Counselor?
It looks like, for example, if a mother has a child they want taken to school, they could have an arrangement maybe for the week,
Yeah, exactly.
and they pay ahead of time
Yeah.
for you to
So, yeah, so,
pick up the child and take the child to school
yeah,
and
so,
back.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if I have
Let's say you need your child being
in
picked up.
Boston or something, I will call you and I'll say on such and such a date, at such and such a time, I want to go to Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then I pay you,
yeah,
and then I can wait for you on that day, and you pick me up and you take me to where I need to go.
yeah, that's correct.
Right. And you have one passengers like they are in New York. It's
Exactly,
just one passenger, it's never more than one.
yes.
Let me just step in a second on that one person. You could have a party of 4 people
Right.
with you, that's considered still one.
Yeah, well, the party, that's what I meant.
As long as they're together,
Right,
they're going to the same
Right.
place.
right. As opposed to the regular ones where you take a cab and then they could go pick somebody else, and then you take a trip around the world before you get to where you want to go.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be none of that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I haven't. Okay, Officer Flores, can you come to the microphone?
Yes.
Can you tell me what are the differences of a taxi cab company
livery
versus
service?
this one?
Yes, well, the.
Because can a taxi company also choose not to pick up multiple people and just pick up single clients or a group of single clients?
They don't have any preset arrangements. As for example, a taxi cab is just a call service. They can be waved down, and they can, if they're not full, they can stop and pick up, even with a passenger in the vehicle. Okay, as long as that first passenger in the vehicle gets dropped off first. All right. For livery service, it has to be a prearranged.
Okay.
That's really the difference, and there is no set rate, because you're actually calling for an express service. You don't want to stop here and pick up other passengers.
Now, delivery service can go anywhere out of the city.
Well, the taxi cabs can do that too.
I'm sorry?
Taxi cabs can do that too.
Okay, so the difference between the taxi cab and delivery is, number one, that the taxi cab can pick up multiple,
Yes, they can be waved down.
and they can stop and pick up somebody in the street that hasn't called the company.
That's correct.
Okay, and that it doesn't have to be prearranged,
Correct.
and that there's a price control within the city, but there's no price control outside of the city.
What do you mean?
Is they gonna take somebody to Boston?
They have their set prices for outside the city.
Okay, so they set their own prices, that we have no
Yeah,
control.
we have no control over that, but inside the city, it's the fare is controlled by the city.
Okay.
I guess my only other thought on this, and I just want to make sure, and I don't know if this is something, Officer Flores, you can help me with, or maybe I need to talk to the city attorney. I'd like to set a number, like on both of these licenses, because my fear is, I say to him, yes, we'll grant you this license, and we renew it, and the next thing I know, he's got like 72 cars over there.
I don't know if there's a set.
But I'd like to just say the
Yeah.
maximum number for him is gonna be 10. My microphone is off. I'd like to just establish a maximum number. And if it's for him, it's 10, and for the other guy, it's 6. I'm okay with both of those numbers. But if they want to renew and increase the numbers in the future, that would be okay too. But,
I believe that's something that we can take up with the city attorney.
Okay.
And come up with a solution to that.
okay, I'll work on that between now and the 16th
Right,
then.
because there is no, there is a set number for our taxi cabs, which is 150.
Well, the total medallions, yeah.
Yes.
So that's why, my fear is, I don't want this to become a way to get around the medallion system. This sounds like he's doing something slightly different than the medallion system, so, but at the same time, heaven forbid, the next thing we know, this guy, through this one license, has 150 vehicles out there, and basically, it becomes the new taxi system, you know?
Right. I
I
understand
don't
what you're
think you would
saying.
do that, but yeah.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
I really like to support this concept. It's like they're offering a new
Yeah.
model, an alternative, and those people who can afford to pay for the, for being able to be the one passenger and be taken to where you want to go. And by one passenger, I mean the one party, or party of whatever, 4 or 5. But I like the idea that you can prearrange things and that you know on the day that you want to go somewhere that you can trust that you have everything organized and ready to go. And that you guys make sure of that, right? Yeah, so if you've arranged for a particular car to be there, and for some reason there's a breakdown or they have a problem with being able to find the address of the previous, passenger where they were going. Let's just say something happens. Are you prepared to send someone else to honor the contract, or?
Yeah, well, we're gonna work on that, but the plan is to reimburse the money and the next trip be for free, so.
But you do have a backup plan. Right?
Yeah, there'll always be a backup,
I
yeah.
mean, because what's unique about your model is that somebody can say, I've organized my day. I can depend that I've got my car ready, my transportation ready, I have my money ready, wherever it is, I got my clothes ready. People that really like to get themselves organized before they go on a trip.
Yeah,
All right, so it sounds exciting to me because it appears to be a different model, and it's offering people a choice. It's an alternative.
yeah.
And I don't think that you're going to move into becoming a regular taxi service, because why you are going to ask for more money is because you're offering an exclusive service, and that's why you call it high-class transportation,
Yeah, that's correct.
right? Okay, I like the model, and I want to make a motion that we forward this to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second?
Motion's been made
Before
and
you
seconded.
take a motion, I have another
Discussion?
question.
Sure.
Officer Flores, is this the only company that is providing this type of service
The livery service, right now, it would be the first.
This will be the first one?
Yes. Any other livery service that's come before you, they'll have private contracts as medical appointments.
Do you foresee that more of this type of service is going to eventually come up?
Yes, it will.
Do you foresee that there's going to have to be some regulation in pricing?
I would
Control.
say so. Only because it's, anyone that comes forward, unless there's something that cannot let them get their license, I don't see how you can stop them.
Yeah. Visiting member, please, join us.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Officer Flores and the applicant, unfortunately, I didn't get your name, Mr. Polinciano. Is this a similar model to Uber, which is internationally being,
No,
no,
no.
okay,
Because if they were Uber, they would not
okay.
Go to the Hackney Division to get licensed by the city. I believe Uber has their own set of regulations, and I believe the only thing that they have to pass is a background check with the state.
Are you aware if we have any,
It's here.
it's in the city?
Mhm.
Oh,
It's
that's
here.
awesome.
Is it really? Yeah?
Yes.
All right, just wanted to know that. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Motion has been made.
So motion's been made, seconded, we've had some discussion. All in favor of sending that up to the full council with favorable recommendation? Aye. Great. So just like the other applicant, if you could please be here on Tuesday evening, December 16th. The meeting starts at 7 o'clock. That's the final vote of the full council will be that night. Be great, okay. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, councilors.
Thank you. Thanks for coming down, officer. So if people are okay with this, I'm going to go through the ordinance committee addendum, which is the document dated December 3rd. We'll just go right through it. There's not too much on there. I think 1 and 2 are really the only ones that need any discussion. The first document on the agenda is document number 383-14. It's a prohibition against carrying certain weapons. Is amending an ordinance 9.12.040, and this was put on the agenda by Councilor Vasquez. Councilor?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I provided a document that has the current ordinance and what the proposed amendment will be. What this ordinance currently says is what in the city, what a person is unable to carry with them. And the one change specifically that I am proposing that we amend is that the state law has changed, and it suggests, well, it states that any knife having a blade in the excess of 1.5 inches will be considered to be illegal. However, here in the city of Lawrence, our ordinance reads in excess of 2.5 inches. So I'm just proposing that we amend it to reflect the state law. I do understand that Massachusetts general law anything that is written in our ordinance and anything written in Massachusetts general law will trump our ordinance. I think that for procedural purposes, because we had an incident here in the city in which there was a resident referencing this particular ordinance, but then there was a reference to the state law, and because of that, there was a bigger confusion that was caused, and an altercation started, and there was actually an arrest made due to the confusion in both languages as written within the state and the city. So I'm just looking for the city's ordinance to read, the same as the state regulation, so we don't have those type of confusions in the future and prevent anything from happening.
I like it.
So the change is specifically in section A of our ordinance. Then I'm also suggesting that we amend section C of the ordinance.
Okay, Madam Chair,
I'm sorry.
before you move on to A, can you remind me, you wanna, is it that you wanna decrease it from 18 inches?
No,
No, from 2.5 inches to 1.5.
Where's the 2.5?
Up above, you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down. Any knife having a type of blade in excess
Oh,
of
wait a
2.5
minute.
inches, except when actually blah, blah, blah. So that's what he's talking about. So down below, new revised one, it has the word, instead of 2, it now says 1.5 inches.
So rather than have one, make it two?
Nope,
No,
rather than make it 2, make
To
it 1.
one.
Oh, the change was already made.
Yep.
I see.
So what he
Okay,
did is he's
thank
giving you the
you.
same ordinance twice. At the top is the current version, and then the second half of the page is the proposed change.
Right, it has that tracking system.
Exactly, right
Okay,
there. So-
that's what I didn't,
Yep.
okay. Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Madam Chair. The second amendment that I'm proposing, it will be slightly different than what I have in the sheet provided here. And this is, after I submitted this documentation, I spoke with, oh my God, it's the organizer of the annual Civil War
Sure, yep.
reenactment. We had a very healthy discussion about this particular subject. I was suggesting that activities involving performing arts on historical reenactments shall require prior approval by the city council. Currently, there's no, we don't have a requirement to approve. Anyone from, bringing anything to a historical event or performance art, educational, or even per se a military exercise that might happen at the Bellevue Cemetery. So I was suggesting that we do require it as part of the permitting process when they have to come to request to use the common park. I know that there's an application process in which there's a checkoff. It goes as including balloons. If you're going to have balloons, how many chairs you're going to have, the time that you're going to set up, and you're going to take everything down. So I will suggest that we add a one line that says if they're going to have anything of that nature there and check off, just for our own sake and purposes, so that way we know that this is being presented. So that was the proposal that I had. After my conversation, it came to my knowledge that she was concerned with the transporting those devices from her home to the actual location of where the event was happening. And she said, okay, so while I'm transporting those, blades or swords,
sabers, I know what you mean, yeah.
how, if I'm stopped by a police officer, would I be arrested? Unfortunately, I didn't have an answer because the ordinance that I was proposing, the proposed change didn't cover it. So, in our conversation, she still liked the idea of requiring the prior approval by the council, but if we could add an additional sentence or wording that will say that it should be exempt while transporting the devices to and from such events. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does, but
I almost feel like we're splitting the hair too much right there. I guess this is my fear. I'm a mom. I hired Jimmy the Clown to come and perform at my kid's birthday party. And I don't know exactly what Jimmy's routine is gonna be. And all of a sudden, he whips out 3 sabers, and he's like, I'm gonna juggle knives. The knives are 7 inches long. They're rubbery, whatever, but am I gonna get arrested? My neighbor doesn't like us. She calls for a noise complaint. The police show up, and there's the clown in the backyard. Normally, they would've just told me to turn on my stereo. Now they're arresting me because I got a guy juggling knives in my backyard. Like, the performing arts part, I'm thinking, like, that's a little far-fetched. But at the high school, or even at the Essex Arts Center, they do have some shows and things like that that might have a knife as part of the performance where they're not hurting anyone with it, but it's, they might not think to come get a permit for that. Like, they're having it in a private hall on their stage. They're not thinking, oh, we need to get a special permit for that. I think that's why they say the historical and performing arts are exempt. And I might say to just leave it alone, like, because if you're saying it requires, not everyone that might have a historical reenactment, those people use the common, they have to come get a permit from us. If they use Bellevue Cemetery, which is a city cemetery, they'd have to get a permit from us. If they did something at St. Mary's, they wouldn't be coming to a permit for us, and I don't want to cause a bigger headache
Yeah.
somebody somewhere down the line.
No, and I think that after that healthy conversation, because I wasn't
Yeah,
looking at it as
Yeah.
that way, it was more for purposes of, we've had many incidents when it comes to safety here in the city, and I was just concerned and probably looking too deep into it, trying to protect residents with this particular ordinance. But I do understand the concern that has been brought up. It's a concern that is valid and makes a lot of sense. So I don't know, maybe.
because the other thing is, my fear the other way too, with the travel to and from part. What if somebody did do something crazy, like, let's say she was going in her, I know the very nice lady, and she's coming down, and she would never do anything bad, but, and something happened, and she got into an altercation with the neighbor on the way down, and she did hit them with a little knife or something. She's here, like, is that gonna, we're giving her a defense for an assault? Like, oh, well, I'm okay, because I'm traveling to the event. I just
Yeah.
feel like the way it's just stated now, it's more open to interpretation, but at the same time, I think it is a little bit safer almost. The first half I love the fact that you recognize that the state law changed and that we should get in tune with it. And I also think it helps our police department, because sometimes people can use that as a defense in court. They say, well, the city ordinance has a different regulation, it was confusing, how could the perpetrator of this crime know that they were doing anything wrong? They complied with your city ordinance.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
And I was concerned that when we have the Semana Hispana and the other, maybe even the Three Saints, and there's cooking going on, and there are knives, then how does that, how would that apply to? Because there are knives being used in the different kiosks or.
The ordinance, as
Those
currently
goes-
is, it actually exempts them, because it says that anyone that is engaged in, so I'm gonna quickly go
Yeah.
through it. It says, when actually engaged in hunting or fishing or going directly to and from returning from such activities. So for hunting and fishing, it does specify it, or any employment which requires the use of any type of knife. So that will be covered under what Councilor.
So activities on the common where people are cooking.
Yeah, that
would be
that
covered
should be
under
covered
this?
on that,
They're
because that's part
employed,
of their
yeah.
employment,
Yeah.
for purposes of cooking
They will
food.
be covered under that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be part of C.
Yeah,
Um,
so the idea came
So
from,
we will leave C alone, right?
yeah,
You okay with that?
I guess so, yeah, because, the original intent was to,
To know who's out there using these things in our
using it.
community. No, I get that part too. I like the concept, but
but I think that after that conversation, and I will give her a call and let her know, and that's why I wanted to come here, because I know as presented
Thank you.
here, I think it sounds good to have it here, and probably if I didn't come, you will have said, oh, this sounds good, let's move it
So
forward.
how is that, Madam Chair, how is that different, the employee, how is that different from the civil war folks? Bringing it down to the activity, if that's for their employee, in
no,
a sense.
the historical reenactment, that's like a hobby. That's like, nobody's employed to do that. That's people's fun, like that's their,
Yeah, well, these people are not employed either, the ones that are cooking.
Yeah,
They're doing it for themselves.
well, they have to.
They do it every year as part of, it's not like they have a restaurant or whatever.
In order to.
So I'm just wondering how, the difference.
In order to actually be able to provide any food services at any of the festivals in the city, you do have to be ServSafe certified. You have to come in and provide, your tax certificate saying that you are qualified. Madam Chair, from
Yeah.
the ordinance, you won't
yeah.
know better than me.
And they're giving, it's an employment. They're paying for the food. Like, I'm not giving the sandwiches away or whatever it is. That's employment. They're getting paid to make sandwich, versus the Civil War reenactment people, that's a historical reenactment, that's a hobby. There might be one or two people that are paid by some company to do that stuff, but most of the people are not getting paid by anyone, that's their fun. They like that, that's something that they want to preserve for historical purposes, but that's considered, like, the IRS would call that a hobby and would call the other one employment, yeah. Yeah.
Because they do have to report, their
Income,
income
yeah.
at the end of the year, or at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. How about the guy who cooks the food at the Civil War reenactment? Is he a historical reenactor or an employee?
I just wonder,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how deep this can get,
Well, I think that
so,
reenactment people are clearly covered, and performing arts are clearly covered. And I would think that Counselor Vasquez's interpretation of employment is people preparing food that are getting paid to prepare food.
Yeah.
That would be employment,
Will be
yeah.
employment.
Yeah.
And Madam Chair, so in section C, however, I think that we should definitely, I will urge that when you do send it to the full council, it will be different than what my suggestion is.
Okay.
Here, but I will also ask,
That's the original one.
no, I will suggest something different.
Okay.
Which is actually to add, cultural events and/or military exercises to it. Because per my conversation with the lady from the reenactment, it came to our attention that cultural events and/or military exercises are not currently covered in the ordinance.
Cultural events and what?
And/or military exercises. So it will basically read activities involving educational, performing arts, historical reenactments, cultural events, and/or military exercises shall be exempt. So we're actually allowing anything that might happen at the cemetery per se.
I know, like the junior ROTC comes in if they have a sword or something.
So right now, like the junior JROTC per se, they are not covered
Yeah,
in this ordinance today.
because they're not as, now, truthfully, they're not usually really using a saber or anything like that, but if they did,
And they wouldn't be, technically, they wouldn't be covered here, because they're not doing a performing art, or it's likely that they're not doing a
Yeah.
historical reenactment.
no, it's not, yeah. Okay, I like it.
okay.
So section C did change, but not as to what was presented.
All right, so do we present it in two parts?
I think, I'll suggest that it's presented just as one, because it's an ordinance as a whole.
Okay.
That definitely language is changing in section A from 2 to 1. In section C, there's also a change to include cultural events and/or military exercises. But I think that it could be presented as one when it comes to the full council, and for purposes
Yeah.
of the public hearing.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought these were two different ones, and this is the original, and then this is the change.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, it's Wednesdays, and I don't think very well on Wednesdays.
So I've got a proposal here, so someone want to make a motion to send that up to the full council?
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. And the motion is to send up the changes to section A from 2 1/2 inches to 1 1/2 inches, and in section C, to add the words cultural events and/or military exercises after the words performing arts. So read performing arts, comma, historical reenactments, comma, cultural events and/or military exercises. That'll be the new, great. So I got a motion, it's been made, it's been seconded, all in favor? Aye. Great, thank you. Thanks, Counselor, appreciate you being here.
And I'm going to be bringing a couple more. Was this format good? Because
Yeah.
I'm going to be presenting a couple more that I'm looking into, and I think if you guys like this format, I could present it as is, and then what the proposed amendment should look like.
I like it. I thought it was helpful to have it side by side like that, thank
Alright.
you.
So I will do it.
Great job.
Next item on the agenda is document number 384-14. It's the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which would be on Sunday, March 8th, 2015. I had put that on the agenda. Normally, Officer Cuddy is here with us. He's actually with one of the neighborhood groups right now at a community meeting, so he's not here. He did send in the parade paperwork, and I apologize, they didn't make copies for everyone, I only have the one copy. But the start of the parade would be 1 o'clock, the end time would be 4 o'clock. It's the same route that they used last year, where they'd come over the Central Bridge, go down Parker Street to Salem Street, go up Shawshene Road towards Market Street, and end at Market Street and Osgood Street. They do have the sign-off from the police department, they have the sign-off from all of the city departments, they have the paperwork filed, and they will work with inspectional services that any of their vendors need to get certified that they do. But I would be looking for a motion to send that up to the full council with a favorable recommendation. Motion's
Second.
made and seconded. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Great, thank you. Document number 385-14 is a request for no parking on Fifth Street on the south side from Lawrence Street to Saunders Street. It was put on the agenda by Council Almonte.
Motion to send to the police department.
This motion to send has been made.
Second?
Seconded, all in favor? Aye. Motion to retable document 385-14.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Actually, just want to do the next bunch as a block, is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Document 385-14, 386-14, 387-14, 391-14, 393-14. Can I get a motion to take those all as a block, please?
Move.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
386-14 is no parking on Avon Street, south side from Saunders Street to Bruce Street, again by Counselor Almonte. 387-14 is handicap parking 63 May Street, requested by Louis
Rentas.
Actually, maybe we'll skip that one. Document number 391-14 is resident parking Sylvester Street between the odd range of 45-59 and the even range of 48-86. That's put on the agenda by Council LaPlante. That also needs to go out to the officer. And so I apologize. Really, it's just 386-14 and that 391-14. Look for motions to send both of those to Officer Scanlon for review and recommendation.
So moved.
Motion's made.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document 387-14 is handicap parking at 63 May Street, requested by Louis Rentas. And 393-14 is handicap parking at 64 Ware Street, requested by Arturo Perez, also put on the agenda by Councilor LaPlante. I'm looking for a motion to send both of those up to the full council to order public hearing and any requisite language from the city attorney. Actually,
I thought
they go to the officer first, yeah. I'm jumping ahead of myself. See, it's Wednesday, you're right, we shouldn't have done this on Wednesday.
I
My
told
fault.
you.
You were right. I apologize. So 387-14, handicap parking at 63 May Street, 393-14, handicap parking at 64 Ware Street. Those are also being sent to Officer Scanlon for review and recommendation. Get that in a motion. Motion's made, seconded, all in favor? Aye. I apologize for that. Can I get a motion to retable all 5 of those documents?
So moved.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. And then 398-14 we already dealt with. We'll take 2 minutes to just go over the agenda and clean up.
This is the time that we said that we were going to? Go ahead.
We warned everybody. I have to confess, Mark gave me one not to do, and I can't remember what it is. But I will. Let's start at the bottom. Is that okay?
Yes.
Starting with 171,
page?
very last page at the bottom, and we'll work our way back up.
Okay.
171-10, recycling ordinance to be established. Is there already another recycling ordinance on here?
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
I remember when this was placed on the agenda by Councilor Maldonado back when he was first elected.
Yes.
So I was doing some follow-up, and I remember, we actually got a draft of the ordinance that was sent to the city attorney,
Okay.
back then. And I had met with the recycling coordinator at the time.
Microphone.
And I had met with the recycling coordinator at that time, and I don't know if, I don't remember if it was Joel, no, it was Andres Castillo. And we spoke about it, and then there was a change in the staff. No, originally it was Joel Chalas, and then there was a change in the staff. Andres Castillo took over the position. So there was, the conversation kind of stopped at that moment.
Okay.
Then we had a new recycling coordinator that came in, and I asked, under the new administration, and I requested to meet, to talk about it, but we have not gotten far with it. I do think that it's needed.
You want to leave it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will suggest that it's left there.
Okay. So we're gonna,
Actually, no, I would
Don't you
suggest
want to
that,
submit it as a new document? Let's get rid of this one.
well, the language is, the city attorney should have the language already.
I know that, but if you submit as a new document, we get rid of this new one. It will be a new document with a new number, and we will start fresh.
Which
Okay.
is make more sense just to get rid of all these
Yeah.
old document, and if anyone wants to put a new one, we're just gonna submit a new one.
That
Instead of
way-
it going one
that
by
way
one,
The
because,
next bunch of paper is not going to include this.
I would just like to, just to double check them, like, it'll take us 5 minutes just to read them. So this one, you want to withdraw it?
Okay, you want me to place it again?
Yeah, withdraw it and then place it again.
But we have
as
this
a new
language from
item.
the city attorney?
The language, the city attorney actually, I provided the language to him.
Okay.
So, motion to withdraw document 17110
Second.
without prejudice.
Motion's made, seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document 179-12 is the police station thing, we're going to withdraw that. So 179-12, motion to withdraw?
So moved.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document 199-12, Leahy School, motion to withdraw has been made.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document 292-12, motion to withdraw?
so move.
Second.
Madam Chair.
298-12, yep, in the National Grid, November 7th, 2012.
That was done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Take it off table.
Everything's off the table.
Everything is
It's going. We've been trying to make it 2 sets of motions, so we're here all night. Document number 391-12, non-emergency constituent phone services. Council, what do you want to do on that one?
Refer to the Public Safety Committee,
Oh, I love it. So we're
Refer to
gonna,
what?
to Public Safety.
we're gonna take it off of our agenda, but instead of
Which one-
withdrawing it,
Which one is that?
331-12, non-emergency constituent phone services.
Motion to send up to the full council to be recommitted to the Public Safety
I
Committee.
love it. So we'll go up into old business, to get reassigned to public safety. I love it. Great solution. Document number 13-13 is Willow Street, one-way proposal. We withdraw it?
No.
No? Do you want to send it to public safety? We just retable it. That's fine.
1313?
Yeah.
Do you want to send it out to a department? Do you want, like, DPW or LPD?
You want to make them one-way streets?
Yeah.
So we're going to send document number 13-13. We're going to send that to Officer Scanlon
Yes,
for review and recommendation.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. I think it was made by Council Maldonado, seconded by Council Alvarez. All in favor? Aye. So document, motion to retable 13-13.
So moved.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. 12-13 is Exchange Street, a one-way proposed by Council Vasquez. You want to do the same thing? So we're going to motion to send that out to Officer Scanlon for review and recommendation.
Second,
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. And motion to retable?
so move.
Made, seconded, all in favor? Aye. Awesome. 131-13, I don't want to withdraw that one. Can we just leave it alone?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll get that dealt with.
13113?
131-13, yeah.
114.
114-13 is the crime statistics report map. Council, you want to send that to public safety?
Madam Chair, that's currently in Public Safety, so this is a duplicate you could withdraw from.
Perfect.
Okay,
Motion to withdraw. Made, seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document number 150-13 is National Grid requesting permission to place underground conduits. Motion to withdraw?
So move. Second,
Made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. 224-13 is the Historical Commission. Actually, he was just here. We're going to table that one.
Yes. Yes.
Motion to table.
second,
224-13 was made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document number 219-13 is the Housing Code Ordinances, Certificate of Compliance update. Want to just withdraw that?
yes.
Yeah.
Motion to withdraw has been made
Second.
and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document 273-13, Responsible Banking Reinvestment in Lawrence. Counselor, you want to withdraw?
No. I think that the city could benefit a lot from this.
Yep. You
I'll
want
get to work.
to table it? You want to send it to Budget and Finance?
No, let's table it here because it will be
Yep.
creating an ordinance.
Okay, I love it, okay.
Okay.
So motion to table 273-13, made and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
A lot of work to do.
305-13, resident sticker parking on Methuen Street between Jackson and Appleton Streets, Councilor Plant. I am gonna tell you, there was one item
There
that
was one item that you mentioned
that he
uh,
said not to, and that could be it. Let's make a motion to withdraw it, and if I'm wrong, we'll just stick it back on.
We'll put it back on.
Yep.
yes.
So motion to withdraw, is made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. If that was the wrong one, I apologize. Document 29-14 is parking on Garden Street between Newbury and Unions. Keep it tabled, okay? Motion to table's been made, seconded?
A second.
All in favor? Aye.
Oh, I thought if we're not doing anything, I didn't think.
Well, we took everything off the table, so some of them we need to retable.
Okay.
Document 28-14 is parking on Orchard Street. We're gonna keep that tabled, so motion to table has been made. By you made it, you can't.
Sorry.
Somebody seconded, okay, so made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. 25-14, snow plowing, disabled and the elderly, Councilor Alvarez.
This stays here. I was hoping to have the court decree out to everybody on disability folks. So next ordinance meeting.
So we're gonna table it.
I hope us.
Just
I
keep it
hope-
tabled.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know, the next ordinance meeting, I hope that we can have some resolution on that.
Okay, sounds good.
Table.
So motion to retable 25-14 has been made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. And then document 11-14 is street paving, payment and conflicts. Council President?
Withdraw the document, we never.
Second.
Yeah, motion withdraws made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document 70-14 is rezoning of land at 338 Lawrence Street. Make a motion to withdraw, I don't even know what that's.
Second.
Motion to withdraw made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. 48-14 fire hydrants and snow removal. I'm gonna say withdraw it because it's very similar to what Councilor Alvarez has there.
Yeah, I told her that.
Yep, motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Same thing with 74-14, also.
So moved.
Motion to withdraw is made and seconded.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Document 46-14, monitoring of water services.
We could
Yeah, we have to leave that.
That's the one.
I should say withdraw, but I'd be nice. No, he's a good person, and, motion to table, 46-14 made and seconded.
I will vote to table as long as there's no more 2-hour discussions on that.
Well,
3 hours.
You know
4
what?
hours.
this is my other question, though. Should we be withdrawing that only because we adopted the ordinances that we were talking about? Remember that was the water?
Right.
So it's been adopted.
So, yes, I don't even think
We can withdraw that, yeah.
Let's
Okay.
withdraw it, yeah.
Motion to withdraw.
So moved.
46-14 has been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
105-15 is the association ministerial. How can it be 15?
Evan,
That's gonna be a typo.
Yeah, that's,
Requesting a hearing for trash removal for the churches?
Wait, this never got resolved.
I believe they came to,
Yes, they did. and-
They did?
And they did get
Yes.
the parking space, withdraw that one.
so withdraw.
They got.
Motion to withdraw.
I'm sorry, and how was this withdrawn?
Huh?
How was this resolved?
I don't remember how it was, but it was.
Yeah, it was,
Because they
I
came to,
remember they came.
They
and
came back and said they didn't
Yes.
need it anymore?
I remember they was looking for, extended the hours between 12 to 2, remember that?
no.
You're talking about something else.
This is,
No, that's the e-save.
trash removal
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
for the
yeah, yeah.
churches.
The trash removal, was that resolved?
Yes, now I, yeah.
This is all.
That was not resolved.
No, well, we don't leave it, yeah.
Don't
we
leave it
table
tabled?
Let's leave it alone, yeah.
Let's table it.
Because if we remove it, they're gonna feel
Yep, I'm with you.
like we did it
105-15,
on purpose.
you're making a motion to table, and you're gonna second it?
Yes.
Great, all in favor? Aye. Old school block party,
90
motion to
people.
table, withdraw.
Withdraw.
So move.
Motion's made and seconded,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. The Weatherby Excel Club, I'm gonna just keep that tabled, their stuff's in progress, but it's not done, so I just wanna keep it
Oh,
tabled.
yeah, that's something that the
They're
kids.
still
propose
working
all
on
the
that?
time.
They did some of it, the city did some of it for them, but not all of it, so I'd like to just keep it tabled. So we retable 79-14, motion's
Second.
made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document number 141-14 is Shante Cafe and Deli, requesting place tables and chairs on the, they can come back in the spring if they wanna try that again, let's just withdraw.
So moved.
Motion to withdraw has been made.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor? Aye. So this is security regulations at nightclubs. This is not the one Councilor Plant wanted to,
That's the one?
this is not it. I know that one's definitely not, so I'm making a motion
Motion
to
to
withdraw.
withdraw?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Document number 210-14, temporary or provisional employment appointments, proposed ordinance.
We are already handling that.
So that's on another document number at the full council, isn't it?
Is it another, yeah.
I think we have the same document number, I
So
think.
it's already up
Yeah,
there. So
it
that we
is.
just,
Yes,
this
it's
is
already up there.
duplicate. So we don't really need to withdraw it, but it's
No.
duplicate. So it should
Table.
not, so we remove it from, well, we're just gonna remove it from the agenda.
Yeah, 209 and 14 and 210-14 are the same, basically the same.
Okay, and it's
So
upstairs?
we already discussed that,
And
and
it's
and there's
at
gonna
the-
be, actually, we should merge both, because they're gonna deal with the same thing.
Okay.
So we draw one of
The
them.
new ordinance that is being proposed, that I forgot last night to present it.
Yep.
We
So
will
it's
discuss it at the
already-
next meeting, so, my motion would be to merge both
Yep, I like it.
documents, yeah.
So, and I think 210 and 14 is the one that's on the agenda already up there.
Yes.
So we're gonna merge the two documents, withdraw, so I'm looking for a motion to withdraw 209-14, excuse me, I guess,
So moved.
yeah.
Second.
And basically merge them and withdraw 209-14. That one big motion, Council Alvarez made it, you
Okay.
seconded it, everybody's happy. So they'll both be off this agenda in the future. 199-14 is the charter change ineligible for election appointment of local officials. Well, we already did that,
Yes, I think we made
yeah.
a change, yes.
So I'm gonna make a motion to withdraw this item.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Document number 292-14 is zoning ordinance proposed on the billboards. This is actually not done.
Where
I
are we?
think they're gonna come back.
Yeah.
They were supposed to write up something, and
They
they were
never
gonna
did,
come
yeah.
back, so.
So make that, we'll table that?
Table,
Yeah.
262-14?
Yeah.
Second.
Motion and tables been
Yes,
made and
motion.
seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Prepared food sales, this is,
This, let's keep it open
Yep.
until we get some additional information.
so motion to table, sure. Made,
Second.
seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No parking sign at 390 Salem Street by Dan Matting. This is from August.
Did we get anything back yet?
Maybe we don't, just because I don't know who Daniel Matting is or what the issue at 390 Salem Street is, maybe we ask the secretary to send correspondence
Okay.
to the applicant. Can I get a motion to send correspondence to the applicant, asking for
Second.
clarification? Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. And then retable that document?
So move.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Document number 309-14 is
That
Ames.
was sent to the officer.
Okay, this was as far as we were gonna go, this, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, that's-
So
that's-
That's it,
let's
we're
keep
done.
there.
yeah.
Yep.
Motion to adjourn? I'm sorry.
Made? Seconded?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, Lord. Okay.